Good morning, outdoor artist, and I'm back on the shed build today with a couple of key points. One is I'm putting on the drip edge, and in order to do that, I've got these extra boards here, these extra 2x4s. I'm going to call those a false fascia, and what they do is they basically extend that fascia out in such a way that when I put my extension ladder up against them, you can see it leaning there, it holds the ladder out away from the drip edge, and that way it doesn't damage the drip edge as I'm working on the ladder and installing the drip edge. I'll keep these false fascia boards here all the way through the metal roofing process, because that metal roofing will extend about an inch over the edge here, and it'll allow that ladder not to impinge on that either. So I'll put this what I'm calling a false fascia all the way down the length of the building. Now, in terms of a drip edge, in case you haven't seen a drip edge or aren't sure what that is, it basically is a piece of bent metal, and this part here goes up under the either shingles or felt or roofing or whatever you have. This is the part that hangs down off the fascia, and at the end you can see if water was coming down, it would kind of flip it out away from the building. So that's the design of the drip edge. I'll have that the whole length of the building. The other thing I hope to do today is get some screening around the building, and we're going to put in both window screening, which is a fine mesh to keep the insects out, and then a heavier mesh to keep the varmints, bigger varmints, out. And my goal would be to try to get that done by the end of today, but we'll see. I have I just stood a piece of the board for the board and batten siding up so you could get a look at that. This is that red oak that I was telling you about. It's a little over an inch thick, and when I was talking to my cousins over the weekend about that, they said, boy, your framing nailer might not be able to go through that all the way because it's so hard. So I did a test nail through this red oak into the 2x6 material pine, and it, as you can see, it did fine. So I'm relieved with that, because that would have made it pretty tedious to have to either nail or even pre-drill a hole and nail. Before I lose you on this segment, I'm going to just point out one potential issue. Well, it's not a potential issue, it is an issue, and that is this stump. And you can see the stump is in pretty close proximity to the entrance of the shed, and so for the ramp to get on the shed, there's going to be an impingement of the ramp on this stump. So this stump's got to go, and I believe the way I'm going to do that is with rent a small excavator and just dig it out. It's not that big a stump. I should be able to accomplish that, get rid of that, so that I can build my ramp effectively without any infringement. So I'll be back at the end of the day to give you an update, but for now this is the outdoor artist, and I'm continuing on with the shed build.